The Federal Aviation Administration releasing a rule on the 21st of June. They did that will allows farmers to use their unmanned aerial systems or drones starting in late August. Auburn University research engineer Christian Brodbeck joining me by telephone here to talk about the new FFA rules on drone use in agriculture. Thank you, Doctor, for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Mark. How are you?
Just fine. Thanks for being here. This is a developing story that will have legs for many years to come. What are the main differences between the current FFA regulations for civil use versus rules that will go into effect in August?
Well, one of the things that there's been a lot of changing here recently, as you alluded to, the rules that will be coming out in August. And as we've seen over the last couple of years, unmanned aerial systems area has just really exploded, and with the regulations the way they've been has kept a lot of people from really taking advantage of some of the technology available. So the FAA, realizing this, has changed the rules in what they're calling Part 107. So some of the big changes we're seeing is, one of it's taken out the requirement to have a 333 exemption, which is the exemption that you have to have in order to be able to fly. That's making it easier for people to fly. But the other big thing that they've taken out is removing the pilot requirement. And when I say pilot requirement, I mean a full FAA licensed pilot, like someone who would fly on an actual airplane. That has been removed, which makes it much simpler for people interested in using UAS in agriculture or other industries to be able to get involved and use the technology and the tools that are available with unmanned aerial systems for their everyday needs.
So what's involved in, if you want to acquire a remote pilot certification, what's involved in that?
So if you're already a licensed pilot, it's just a real quick take a knowledge overview course, and you can then you're almost like quote unquote grandfathered in, I guess you could say. But for someone who's a new pilot interested in becoming a UAS pilot, they're going to go through a remote pilot certification. This is going to be similar to, let's say, getting a driver's license, for example. You're going to have to take an FAA course, an FAA exam, and the course is really just going to make sure that you are knowledgeable in certain regulations. So, for example, they want to make sure you know what FAA regulations apply to UAS. They want to make sure you know what airspace classifications are. They want to know that you understand the emergency procedure so you can get your UAS on the ground in case of an issue. They want you to be able to communicate over the radio using proper, radio communication procedures. They want you to understand airport operations, and this is one that is really important, and not so much for us in agriculture, but does translate over to a lot of importance, especially for people in real estate, where you may have houses that are off the end of a runway, to just understand how it is that airplanes come into land, where's their glide slope, so that you make sure that what you're doing does not endanger any manned aircraft. So the way it'll work is you'll take a FAA knowledge course, and then you'll take an FAA exam at a testing center. So it'll be similar to like a driver's license. You have to take a course and then sit for the exam. And we do have a FAA testing center here on campus at Auburn University.
Very good. Well, this is a story. We hope we can recontact you, Doctor, in the future as this story continues to unfold. We've seen examples there of how it's being used. It's certainly very important in agriculture going forward. Auburn University research engineer Christian Brodbeck joining us here on Market Day Report.